Entendi. Ok. Boa tarde a todos. Bem-vindos a esta palestra sobre Medicina Tradicional Chinesa. Vamos ouvir aqui o professor Ye Xiao, professor associado da Escola da Humanidade de Gestão da Universidade de Medicina Chinesa de Zhejiang. É professor do Conselho da Universidade de Conselho. É membro do Conselho Executivo de Tradução da Federação Mundial das Sociedades de Medicina Chinesa. Pesquisa sobre transmissão internacional da medicina chinesa, cultura da medicina chinesa, e é autor de 6 artigos indexados, e editor de 12 livros na área da medicina chinesa. Eu vou falar durante mais ou menos 2 horas, e depois haverá um espaço para perguntas. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Boa tarde a todos. 好，大家下午好。Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, very welcome to the session. A brief introduction to traditional Chinese medicine. And so now let's begin. Okay. Actually, medicine in the world all has a similar origin. Okay. So here you can see there are generally three sources. The instinct, the sages, and the witchcraft. Okay. So instincts, the 直觉, sages, 圣人, and witchcraft, 巫术. Okay. And here in this picture, you can see on the left, on the left, this one is the symbol of medicine, right? And actually, in the Chinese culture, you can see on the right, that's the symbol of the god of medicine in Chinese culture. Okay, it's you can see a lot of similarity, right? 有点相似有点相似. Okay, in the vast Chinese land, actually, wise people had lived there for more than 1 million of years. Okay, you can see this is the earliest wise man found in the Chinese land, and also other kinds of human beings on the land of China. Okay, so you can see they had lived in the land of China for a very, very long time. And for the Homo erectus pekinensis in China, you can see they have been able to use fire. Okay, and using fire is very important for the health of the human being. Because it not only prevented the diseases, but also it benefits the digestive system, and widened the variety of food, and also it gave to the birth of some medical therapies like moxibustion and like hot compress. Okay, so here I just introduced that actually the wise men had lived in the China land for a very, very long time. And out of their instinct, they became to use some therapies for the health, for health killing. And also, for example, some people, some of them would properly use hand or stone, to press some certain parts of the body for the pain relief, And you can see in the Neolithic age, this is kind of pointed head, pointed stones, and they were used for health killing, for hot compression, for cutting open abscesses, and for massage. Okay, and actually, they are the precursor of acupuncture. Have you ever heard of acupuncture? 针刺. This is called 砭石. Okay, you can see. So gradually, they also use the bones of the animal as the needles, the stones and the bones as the needles, for health killing. And very interestingly, indigenous people in South and North America also use acupuncture. Okay, so acupuncture is actually a very ancient therapy, and gradually, with the development of the society, people gradually use, for example, metals to make needles. Okay, and these are these are the modern needles, and these are tube needles, much more modern needles. Okay, so this is a kind of inheritance actually from the ancient times, And have you ever also heard of this story, 神农尝百草? Have you ever heard of this? Okay, this is about 神农. 神农 means divine farmer. Divine farmer. Okay, a great ancestor of Chinese nation who lived more than 4,000 years ago. He was said to have tasted 100 kinds of herbs. To test their effectiveness. Okay, and according to legend, there was also a divine animal beside him. This animal was said to have transparent bellies. So the whole process of the herbs within the body can be seen, could be seen through the digestion of the animal. Okay, so this is a legend, but we can see ancient people were also very wise, right? Very wise. They would probably use animals to test the toxicity of the herbs, Okay, and this is also. Okay, So this is a kind of sages, some sages in the ancient times. They tasted herbs for their properties, for treating diseases, And to the Song Dynasty, Song Dynasty is a recorded dynasty, is the earliest recorded dynasty in China. This is a time with the popularity of witchcraft. Have you ever heard of the oracle, oracle character? Have you ever heard of this? The words, Chinese words. These are the earliest Chinese words on the bones and the turtle shells. Haven't you been heard of this? 甲骨文 have you ever heard of 甲骨文? Oracle, oracle. Okay, so words on the shells, on the turtle shells and or beast bones. Do you know what's the use for them? What's the use of these words on the bones? Do you know? Of course, you haven't heard about it. Actually, these are the earliest Chinese characters. These are the earliest Chinese characters. They were the records. They were the records for divination, a kind of witchcraft to tell the fortune, for example, to tell the things about the future for the luck, for the fortune and the future. Okay, or to record the things, So it's for divination. So in this dynasty, it's a dynasty of witchcraft. Okay, and you can see these are the oracle words. This first line are the oracle, the word characters on the oracle words. Okay, and here I would like to mention that there have been lots of characters of medicine or body organs in the oracle. Can you have a guess of these words, these characters? This first one, it's very easy, right? Okay. One moment. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Have a guess. Sing. Okay. Very good. Very good. Sing hot. Okay. This is easy. Mu. Good. Very good. Very good. Mu. I. Okay. The next one. Okay. So very good. Very good. This one. Okay. With teeth. With teeth. Tooth. Next one. This is a combined one. Okay. You can see this is a person and this is an arrow. Arrow. So a man was arrowed. So this kind of trauma, okay, kind of trauma, and this is called ji, ji, okay, okay. So inside you can see this is shi. Shi means arrow, okay, arrow under the radical of disease. So this is originally kind of trauma, okay. Okay, how's about this one? On the left, okay, this is the bed, a person and sweating. So it means a person lying on the bed and he is sweating. So this is okay.病. Okay, illness. 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 And this is the parasites. Okay, parasite. Parasite. Okay, called a kind of disease. Disease. Okay, so with like worms inside. Okay, and this is worms in the tooth. Worms in the tooth. So it means tooth decay. Tooth decay. Okay. So here, I just like to tell you that. So in the very early time, there had been lots of diseases. The characters of diseases or body organs recorded in the auricle bones. And this is time. The medicine is mixed. Is very to a large extent greatly mixed with witchcraft. Actually, witchcraft try to control the process of natural development, just like the science defines the laws in nature. But the witchcraft moved in another direction, which is never the truth. Then with more accumulation of the experience, people gradually know that witchcraft actually cannot solve lots of things. So they were gradually replaced by natural philosophy. And this is a time 春秋战国时期 about 770 before the century to 221 before the century. This is a period with the emerge of 100 schools of thoughts in China. And actually very interesting. Also in the West, this is also a time to see the emerge of different schools of philosophies in the West. Okay. And so with the coming of these philosophies, they created the conditions for the germination of the medical theories. Okay, so we can see in the very long ancient times, we can see the medicine came from the instinct, came from the sages, came from the witchcraft. Okay, and also then with the emerge of philosophies, then the medical experiences now would have the theories, systemic theories. Okay, and here I would like to mention 扁鹊. Have you ever heard of this one? 神医扁鹊, the magical doctor. Okay, 扁鹊. You should know 鹊, magpie. Magpie, 鹊. In China is a good bird, but maybe in the West culture it's not so good, maybe, right? And so, okay, sorry. So in the ancient times, a good doctor would be depicted as the figure of magpie. Okay, so this is a good doctor, and so it's kind of totem, okay, of the magpie, And 扁鹊was a very famous and a very good doctor at that time, and just in his time, he proposed that we must believe in the medicine rather than the witchcraft. And he mentioned, he proposed that 六不治. So there are 6 cases that I wouldn't cheat. Okay, so first one is those who are arrogant and unreasonable. Okay, so yes, so those who are unreasonable, they may not listen to the doctors. Okay, second, those are in favor of fortune more than health. Okay, so so he surely puts health much more on the fortune. Okay, and thirdly, those don't change bad habits in daily life. Okay, so I think this is still very meaningful to us today, right? So habits are very important to the health. Okay, if you don't change your bad habits, actually it's very difficult for you to recover from a disease. And also those mind has been disturbed by internal diseases, or those are too weak to take medicine orally. Okay, so these 2 cases mean that these are the very serious cases. And lastly, okay, here I would like to stress is that those who believe in witchcraft instead of medicine. Okay, so we can clearly see in this time, people, many wise or the mainstream doctors now at that time believed more in medicine rather than the witchcraft. Okay, and so gradually, the systemic theories for Chinese medicine were established. Sorry. Okay, and these are the bamboo sheets in the ancient times. In ancient times, the words, the characters were carved on the bamboo shoots. Bamboo sheets. And so you can see from very early time, in a very early time, so witchcraft medicine became kind of medicine based on the Chinese philosophies. And actually, medicines in the world have lots of similarities. For example, this is the medicine in ancient Greek. These are the 4 elements in ancient Greek medicine. This is the traditional medicine in India, the 5 elements, and also 5 elements in Chinese medicine. Okay, so they have similarities. And also in the ancient Greek medicine, we also people also paid attention to the different physics of the people, because physics actually different people have different physics, and so even if you are affected with the same problems, the symptoms or the prognosis could be different. And in China, we have the 9 physics in traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, so you can see in ancient medicines, there have been lots of similar characters. For example, they all relate the body and health with the natural elements, seasons, environment, and the individual characters. And they all suggest the balance of the body, self-healing power, the difference in physics. Okay, sorry. And also, they also have some similar therapies, like the herbal medicine, the diet therapy, massage, cupping, blood letting, and so on. So actually, the origin of medicines in the world have lots of similarity. However, in the West, we experienced a very long time of dark age. Okay, and then the ancient Greek medicine moved into totally another direction, just the modern the way of the biomedicine. But in China, the Chinese culture has never been interrupted, and the development of TCM in both clinical practice and theoretical projection moves forward continuously. Okay, so here, so in the West, the ancient Greek medicine was greatly. The development of ancient Greek medicine was greatly hindered or stagnated. But in China, this ancient medicine still continues. And so TCA or Chinese medicine neither formed the reductionism. Okay, so in the Western, in the biomedicine, we approach it with the reductionism, 还原论 we call this 还原论 reductionism. But in China, the Chinese medicine doesn't went this way, and it survives all the way and is more thriving in the modern world. And there are some specialties of Chinese medicine. For example, Chinese medicine is greatly based on the Eastern philosophies. Okay, so if you would like to understand the Chinese medicine, you must try to understand the philosophies of Chinese culture, philosophies from China or from the East. And the unity of nature and human being. So our individual is not separated from our environment or from the nature. We are combined with the nature and the environment. And dialectic logic. Okay, so this is not logic that something just white or black. Okay, so it's kind of dialectic logic and also analogy. Okay, so you need to know these philosophies. Okay, and also there's a special theoretical system, like the qi, yin yang, 5 elements, visceral manifestation, 4 examinations, 8 principles, and and so on. So if you would like to know more about Chinese medicine, you need to know some concepts, some special concepts which are based on the Eastern philosophy. Okay, and for treatment methods, there are also some special therapies like herbal formula. So in the West, actually, we also have herbs, right? We also have herbs. But in Chinese medicine, we detected the ways on how to combine different kinds of herbs together to make an effective formula. And also acupuncture, moxibustion could be special therapies, and tuina, traditional exercises. And now China has completed systems of TCM education, practice, legislation, and research. Now in China, each province has a TCM university, which offers bachelor, master, and doctoral degrees education. Each city has much more than one TCM hospital, and any medical hospitals have TCM clinics. So it's assuring. In China, Chinese medicine is parallel to biomedicine， 就是中医和这个西医是平行的And so in China, there's a coexistence of biomedicine, traditional Chinese medicine, and also integrated Chinese and Western medicine, biomedicine. And also, Chinese medicine, the values of Chinese medicine are more and more recognized in the world. And Chinese medicine is increasingly popular on the world stage. 那么 so 不仅仅在中国not only in China, but also in the world, Chinese medicine 中医越来越受到欢迎So, for example, Tu Youyou won the Nobel Prize for her discovery of artemisinin for the malaria, which saved the life of millions of people in the world. And another figure is called Chen Zhu. He used a very toxic ingredient to save the lives of leukemia, a kind of blood cancer, and it's very effective, And then now there have been lots of reports on the Chinese medicine. For example, why Chinese medicine is heading for clinics around the world. It's reported by the Nature, And especially in 2019, Chinese medicine has been listed in the International Classification of Disease 11 by the World Health Organization, which means it has much more recognized by the World Organization and by the World Society. And in the future, they could be a kind of the unanimous standard for the study and the research, and practice of Chinese medicine, And at present, to date, Chinese medicine has been spread to 196 countries. So it has been transmitted to most parts of the world. And for example, I just took some countries. For example, in Korea, Chinese medicine is called Korean medicine. Korean medicine in Korea, in South Korea, and in South Korea, the Korean medicine is parallel to biomedicine, and it's also covered by insurance. And the students studying Korean medicine are all elites, are the top students, are all the top students. The top 1% of the students can enter the degree education of Korean medicine. And South Korea is not a big country, but it has 12 universities that can offer degree education for the Korean medicine. And Kempo is a traditional Japanese medicine, but it's derived from Chinese medicine. It's derived from Chinese medicine. And it's literally means the Han method. So it's from the Chinese medicine. And this medicine system was also in Japan. And if you go to Japan, in the shops or the stores, you can easily find the different kind of herbal formulas for different diseases, for different problems. Okay. And in Singapore, Singapore government recognizes the TCM, the Chinese medicine degrees obtained from China, and allows Chinese doctors of Chinese medicine to practice in the country. And in the West, Chinese medicine is also very popular, especially in some, for example, in the America, the superpower in the world. At present, 48 out of 50 states and one special administrative region have the legislation of Chinese medicine, of acupuncture, and 5 of them both legislated the acupuncture and Chinese medicine. Okay, and you can see in America, they actually have a very systemic system of education and practice. And many famous universities in America also provide courses of Chinese medicine or acupuncture. Okay, so you can see many famous universities also provide courses of Chinese medicine. And in 2020, the acupuncture for pain was covered by the federal insurance. In America. And just last year, probably, acupuncture was recognized as a kind of medicine in a state of America. Okay, and also there have been reports about especially acupuncture. For example, the Time reports why acupuncture is going mainstream in medicine. And also in America, there have been lots of famous clinics that they provide acupuncture treatment. For example, the Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and also it's very popular in the military. So this is reported. This is some reports about acupuncture or ear acupuncture in military. Okay, you can see lots of reports, and also you can even see many celebrities use acupuncture, for example, for beauty, for beauty. This is a kind of acupuncture, very thin needles on the face, and also cupping. Cupping is very popular. Okay, lots of cupping marks. Okay, so you can see especially popular among athletes. Okay, so you can see acupuncture in America is very popular. And also in France. France is the earliest country in the Europe to accept and practice acupuncture, acupuncture. And you can see in the early 19th century, France doctors had used electric acupuncture, for some surgery or for the treatment, and also ear acupuncture was further developed by French scholars. Ear acupuncture is also very popular in France. And they even applied acupuncture to animals. So lots of people are practicing acupuncture on animals. Okay. And in Germany, only registered doctors and a kind of practitioners of traditional medicines can practice Chinese medicine. And what's important here, what's special here is that in Germany, there's a very famous hospital of Chinese medicine, very famous hospital of Chinese medicine. This hospital is the cost in this hospital is covered all by the insurance. So it's a very special case. And there are lots of visits of patients, and so it's very popular, and the curative effect is very good. So they use different therapies of Chinese medicine, like acupuncture, qigong exercise, traditional exercise, and even diet therapy, herbal diet therapy, and in the West, many countries, 4 countries, have fully recognized the Chinese medicine, like Australia, New Zealand, Portugal, and Hungary. So these countries have all recognized Chinese medicine by law and permit its legal practice. Okay, so you can see Portugal, in our country, right? We legalized Chinese medicine. So I think Chinese medicine here in Portugal would become more popular in the future. And now you can see these three schools or colleges provide degree education of acupuncture. Okay. These 3 schools or colleges provide degree education of acupuncture. Okay, so we can see even so in our Portugal, we can see Chinese medicine would surely have great development in these years. So there are still lots of problems. For example, language is still a problem. It's still a very serious problem. Okay, so you are all students of maybe Portuguese to Chinese translation, right? Maybe yes, in the future, you can also involve in this field, because it's very important, right? If you don't have materials in Portuguese of China, don't have materials of Chinese medicine in Portuguese, it will be difficult for people to understand the Chinese medicine. Okay, so here we had a general picture of the Chinese medicine. of the history and also its general state in the world. Okay, so here I have a question. Why is Chinese medicine increasingly welcomed in the world? Surely, I think there are lots of factors. But the most important one, I think, is that it makes up some limitations of conventional biomedicine. Okay. Maybe I think all of you or your relatives have tried the biomedicine, right? But do you think there are some shortcomings of the biomedicine? Maybe you are still very young and you have not lots of experience of the illness. But I would like to tell you that biomedicine has lots of limitations, especially after the World War II, because with the improvement of our living standard, people's lifespan becomes much longer. So gradually, people now were greatly inflicted by like functional diseases, disease syndromes, chronic diseases, aging problems, and for example, some health. And for these problems, you can see biomedicine cannot do too much. Because biomedicine is based on reductionism. It means that you must find some substantial changes or substantial problems or some substantial pathological substances. Okay, but for the functional diseases, you will not find the substantial thing. And also for disease syndromes, chronic diseases, aging problems, and some health. For these diseases, they are very complicated problems, that you cannot find the pathogens from the molecules, the genes, and so on, So, and they are largely connected with our daily lifestyles. They are connected with our daily lifestyles. And also, new drugs and diagnostic and treatment guidelines of biomedicine are always renewing. We can see in biomedicine, drugs or treating guidelines would be renewed very often. So this means that people treated by previous drugs or guidelines may probably have some problems, and also there could be some side effects or toxicity, and also the generations. So if you use the antibiotics for a very long time, for example, it will cause drug resistance. And there are also many other limitations. Maybe by these words you are not quite you're not very aware of them. Then I would like to give you some cases. For example, indomethacin exerts an anti-inflammatory effect by inhibiting take landing E2 synthesis. But this separation also affects the receptor for mucus secretion, leading to gastric mucus damage. So it's very common in the biomedicine when they take effect on one problem, but they may cause other problems. And in the history, there have been lots of serious cases. For example, sulfanilamide spiritus and thalidomide and also PPA and VIOXX. Okay, in different times, they caused lots of problems, very serious problems. And in just this year, a paper was published in a top journal. It states a long-time use of proton pump inhibitors, such as omeprazole. Okay, this is a very commonly used drug. And it actually could significantly enhance the risk of colon cancer. Okay. So actually, for the drugs, for the chemical drugs, we may not know what they will bring us when they having probably some effects on treating some problems. So this is some cases. And case 2, I would like to talk something about the calcium and the vitamin D supplements. Okay, so maybe in our mind, supplements could be very beneficial, right? Does anyone take vitamins in your daily life? And we may all believe they are very useful, right? Actually, in my opinion, if you have a balanced diet, it's no need for you to take additional vitamins. Because if you take additional vitamins, it only means that you put more burden on your body. Okay, and here maybe we all believe that calcium and vitamin D supplements could be effective for the bones and for the fracture in elder adults, right? Okay. But a new research showed supplements containing calcium, vitamin D, or both didn't appear to protect against hip fracture and other bone breaks in other adults. Okay, so the researchers show actually taking vitamin D and calcium actually can do nothing to the fracture. Okay, so here it tells what we believed in the conventional biomedicine previously could be proved wrong in the future with the emerging of new evidences. Because biomedicine is majorly based on laboratory, experiments. But laboratory experiments would have lots of problems, which could not be so much true to life. Okay, so here this case. And the last case, the last case is that it's from myself. It's from myself. Okay. Actually, many years ago, I have many problems. I have many problems. I complained to the doctor. So, for example, I have dry eyes, chronic diarrhea, rashes on my skin, and bleeding after passing stool. Okay, and my digestive system is not good. It's not good. So I went to see the doctor of biomedicine. You can see the therapists are that. So the ear, nose, and throat doctor prescribed eye drops to moisten my eyes. The gastrointestinal doctor prescribed pills to treat the diarrhea. The dermatologist prescribed the ointment and the pills ointment for the external application on the skin. And the doctor of the proctology department, they asked me to take enteroscopy, a kind of to have a look of the inside of the colon, and even suggest surgery. And the enteroscopy requires enema, means that I shouldn't have food for a day. Okay, so according to the biomedicine, it's perfect, right? Do you think these therapies are perfect? Yes, it's perfect. It is seen, it looks like. Because all my symptoms surely relieved a lot. All my symptoms relieved a lot. But they relapsed. They come back again after I stopped using them. After I stopped using them, and even some symptoms even became much more serious. So should I continue to take drugs? So I think this could probably the case for many people. Could be probably the case for many people. Maybe if you have, maybe you have experienced there's such a thing that maybe your grandfather or grandmother may probably have many kinds of diseases, and every day maybe you can see they would take a handful of pills, right? A handful of pills. And it's very common. It's very common. When you have some chronic diseases, you need to take the medicine for all of your life. For all of your life. And this actually makes the problems complicated. Okay. So I'm thinking, is there one therapy to solve all problems? So actually, so this is a kind. So what I've just talked is a kind of the way of biomedicine to treat diseases. So this is a kind of philosophy based on reductionism. Okay, 还原论. So they treat symptoms. Treat symptoms by the according therapy or drugs. But if they just one therapy to solve all of them, and how did I recover from all these symptoms? My way is not to take medicine, but by regulating my lifestyle. Okay, so my experience of recovering from them is during my stay in Coimbra in 2016 to 2018. So maybe you'll never know. So many years ago, I had a kind of bad habit. This bad habit is PC game addiction. So I played PC games a lot, and also I have had translated lots of books and also published many papers. And all these required the sitting in front of computer, right? Okay, so it means in previous days, I usually just sit in front of a computer, either to play PC games or to translate things or to write things, right? So the first rule is that to refrain from the bad habit. Okay, so also this is very important for you. So when you have some kind of disease, always pay attention to your bad habit first. You need to think about your habit. What's your bad habit first? But not to seek the help from doctor in the first. Surely for first aid, you need to seek help from the doctor. But I mean, for some chronic problems or for some complicated problems, you need to recognize your habit, your bad habit, and rectify your bad habit first. Okay, so this is what I did. Okay, so second is that Coimbra is a very quiet place, and also I didn't have lots of social activities. So I was in a calm mind. And I had regular rest. Okay, maybe in modern when we were young, maybe it's very common for us. Maybe we will sleep very late, right? Or and get up very late also, or maybe we don't have enough sleep, and so on. So have a calm mind and regular rest. And thirdly, I applied some kind of diet therapy according to my physics. Okay, so you need to know what's your individual physics. For myself, I'm a kind of physics that is very easy to cold food or cold weather. For cold weather. So I tend to have I need to have some warm food or warm natured food. Called in Chinese medicine, the different food could be classified into different degrees of the warm, the cold, the cool food. Okay, for example, the button is very hot, and the beef is warm, and the duck meat is a little cool. While the fish and the clams are much colder food. Okay. So you need to pay attention to this. So it's not good for me to drink, for example, to drink also cold milk. Okay. So you need to recognize your physics and get some diet therapy to regulate your physics. And also, when I was in Coimbra, I also found a very good place to practice traditional Chinese exercise. Okay, if we have time, I will show you traditional Chinese exercise is quite special, quite different from the modern way of exercise. Okay, so actually, by doing exercise, I think very important is that you need to go to a place where you can have fresh air and sunlight, okay, and you can with a calm mind, Okay, so actually you can see during my stay in this time, I generally recovered from all the problems. So all the problems actually went away. All the problems went away. So you can see which therapy is better. Which therapy is better? By taking drugs or by boosting your healing power? Surely, I think by boosting your self-healing power is much more effective and important for taking drugs. Okay. Just like Hippocrates' lay. Okay, so you must know the Hippocrates, right? So in Chinese, it's Hippocrates, the father of medicine. So he said, the best therapy is a peaceful mind, clean environment, rest, good nutrition, and persistent observation, which allows the boosting of natural healing power of the body. Actually, I just did what Hippocrates said. Okay, and we may sometimes apply bandage, massage, ointment, and use potent medicine and invasive therapies only when it is inevitable. So in the first place, we need to seek help from yourself. And then, if it is inevitable, then you go to visit the doctors. And similarly, in Huangdi Neijing, the classic of traditional Chinese medicine. This book laid the foundation of the theories of Chinese medicine. It also said, the wise Asian people, they complied with the law of nature, and their eating and drinking was moderate. Their rising and resting had regularity. They didn't tax themselves with meaningless work. The mind is relaxed, and one has few desires. They considered their food delicious. They accepted their clothes, and they enjoyed the custom. Those of higher and those of lower status didn't long for each other. Hence, they were able to keep physical appearance and spirit together, and to exhaust the years allotted by heaven. Okay. Okay, so these older sayings all told us that we should lead a regular life, and we should keep a calm mind, and we should pay attention to our connection with the nature. Okay, so here, for your health or diseases, would you like to seek help outside or inside? So always don't forget the self-healing power. So when we are strong enough, we can prevent different kinds of diseases, even COVID-19. So if we are strong enough, COVID-19 is also not a big problem. But if your body is weak, all kinds of different diseases will come. For example, for the older people, for the elderly people, when they are weak. Just like myself, right? You can see many years ago, when my body is weak, the problems can come here and there, right? Problems can come here and there from the weakness of your different parts. But I think why pay attention to your self-healing power, you can handle these problems. And in Chinese medicine, there are plenty of measures for boosting your self-healing power and rectifying your balance. Rectifying your balance. Okay, so you can see what this. Okay. This is acupuncture. This is cupping. This is herbal formula. So you combine lots of herbs together. This is called moxibustion. This is called massage, Chinese massage, or tuina, but it's a kind of medical massage. This is traditional exercise. This is diet, herbal diet. So combine herbs and food for daily health care. And all these therapies, they just try to boost your self-healing power. For example, acupuncture. Okay, you can take a look. Or maybe does anyone would like to have a try? Okay, good. And for other students, you may take a look. So these are the needles. They are different sizes. Okay, different sizes. And for the use, they are much more and much smaller. So why they are different sizes of the needles? Because they are designed to be different parts of the body. Because of our body, so some places is seen. So we should use the shoulder. Also, right? And we use much more. Wait. Okay, let me see. Okay, not select. Okay, maybe I need to have one from this. Okay. Sorry. Okay, and for acupuncture, according to traditional Chinese medicine, there are many points. Okay, you can see there are some many channels or points on the body. But actually, it's not very difficult to understand. Because in the most ancient times, people when we have problems in some places, it's just when you press, you can feel much more candidates places. So that's the point. That's the point. And gradually from the people found more points of the body. For example, you have a seat. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for example, so there are lots of points of the body, and for them, okay, can you feel some different feelings? Different feelings. Okay. So in some points, you could sense some different sensations. Different sensations in some points. And okay, so these points, we may indicate different problems. And this is relatively very safe point. And surely, for acupuncture, you need to disinfect. But I think it's not a problem, because it's all no problem. So I use the tube. Okay. Yeah. So use the tube. You can just put it to the point. Can you sense any different sensation? Yeah. Okay. So it's very thin. It's painful. No, not painful. Because the needle is very thin. Okay, the needle is very thin. And if you use the tube, it's very easy to insert it. And usually, we will retain the needles, or maybe we'll make some manipulations. Can you sense? Strong? Quite strong? Okay, yes. So it's to have some very special sensations. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so different points could be used for different problems. And it will stimulate different systems of your body. It will stimulate different systems of your body and take effective curative effects. Okay, so you can see it only stimulates your own body's function to treat diseases, right? Okay, no drug, right? No drug goes inside. But it stimulates your body system, to guard, to protect yourself, Okay, and also, for example, for cupping, this is called cupping. Cupping actually not only exists in China. This is a very ancient therapy all over the world, like Egypt, or in many, or even in Europe. It has thousands of years of history. And in China, previously we used this kind of bamboo cups, and we use fire. We burn a kind of piece of things and insert it. So the burning thing will will consume the oxygen, and then it will have some negative pressure, and so it will stick on the body, and to cause some kind of therapeutic effects. I will show you then. This is much more one. Okay, like slide. It's very convenient. Okay, yeah, both no problem. So this is much more simple. So it's very convenient. Actually, you have seen, right? Lots of athletes also do this tapping. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, do you have any painful phrases or not? If you don't feel good, yeah, okay, so how about you? Okay, you're back. Okay, let's try. Okay, so this is very simple. You can just put this here. You're back. Which phrase? Okay. Okay. Actually, my hand is a little cold. So if you can help others to do the tapping, maybe you can massage a little first, and then put the tapping. Okay. Okay. So you can see the cup sticks on the body surface. The cup sticks on the body surface. Okay. And here you can get one more. Any places? Okay. 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 So we will give you a small one. Okay, like here. Do you have any special feeling? No? Okay, yeah. Just so we can maybe can show. Okay, okay, you can see. There would be the negative pressure inside. So using negative pressure, you can see it causes some kind of bruising, and the bruising can inject your immune system, and then will relax and benefit the related locations. So there are different sizes. For example, this is very small. Okay, yeah. So this is very small. So you can use, for example, in some on some points. And it's even very useful if you are bitten by a mosquito. It's also useful. Okay, so for example, if you are bitten by a mosquito, you can also use this. You don't need to apply some ointment or something. It can relieve the itching sensation very effectively. But the people usually use for the muscle problems. Okay, that's it. Okay. A not painful line. Okay. You can put a not painful line. Okay, you can see. Not painful. Not painful. Very convenient. Actually, you can do this at home at your house. When you feel uncomfortable, you want to boost your health. You can boost your health. The cups, put the cups on some places, on some points. It's very easy. It's very easy. Very easy. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so you can see this could be marks. If you have some serious problems inside, the marks, the color of the marks could be different. Okay, the color of marks could be different. But for this beautiful student, you can see the mark is very normal. Is normal. Only maybe slight, very slight passages inside. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so. Negative, okay? You have no problem of your body here. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so you can see the needles and the cuttings generally have no side effects, right? Have no side effects, but it can actually stimulate your body system, stimulate your body system to prevent or to guard your body and to get rid of diseases. And this is moxibustion. So, for example, you can burn it. You can burn it, and this material is special plant called Aiye. Do you know Aiye in Dragon Boat Festival? Dragon Boat Festival, we hang the Aiye usually at the door, and these are the dried powder. You can have the smell of this. But here I will not learn this. So this therapy, surely you can see this is hot therapy. So you burn it, and this herb is very penetrating. This herb has very penetrating effect. Okay, so if you have, for example, cold problems in the body, like diarrhea due to having cold food, or the, for example, the painful periods for the girls. If you have painful periods, for example, so you can also use this, and also for catching colds. You can also use on some certain places. Okay, so this is kind of moxibustion. We can we also have lots of devices to put them into different devices and to be applied in different places. Okay. And okay, so here I didn't have the herbs because as for herbs, it's maybe a little difficult for you to master. But you can pay attention to the herbal diet, or pay attention to the different properties of food. In Chinese medicine, the food are not classified by its minerals, or the trace elements, or the vitamins, but they are classified according to the different properties. Like just I have told you, some food could be hot, some could be warm, some could be cool, and some could be cold. And also they are classified into the tastes, different tastes. Different tastes of the herbs, and the food have different functions on the body. So these are not analyzed or attached importance in modern science, but in Chinese medicine, they are classified into the different way, into a different way. Okay, and lastly about I would also like to talk something about the traditional exercise. Traditional Chinese exercise. Actually, so for practicing exercise, okay, maybe you will go to gyms to practice exercise, right? To do exercise, but I don't think to do exercise in the gyms is a good idea. Why? First, I think the air in the gym is not good. Because usually the gym is very crowded with the smell of lots of different equipments. So, and people consume lots of oxygen inside. So it will be very problem. There will be not enough oxygen. And the air could not be so fresh. Okay. And also it's away from the sunshine. And the sunshine is very important for practicing, for doing exercise. So usually, actually, for practicing traditional Chinese exercise, you need to find a place with fresh air, okay, with little sunshine. For example, in the morning, with a little sunshine, okay, and with open air, and in a calm place, okay. So this is the first thing I would like to mention about exercise. And as for the second rule, for the exercise, so maybe you would only consider the exercise in the gym is a kind of exercise. But I would like to say probably the exercise, for example, in the housework, for the housework, or for the labor force, they are all kind of exercise. Okay, so this means that if you, for example, if it's this day you did lots, if you do lots of housework, if you have done lots of housework, or maybe this is a busy day for you to work here and there to do things, then I think it's enough for your exercise. But for example, if you have sit or rest for a very long day, or in the work, you always sit in front of a computer, then you need to do exercise. You need to do exercise. And also, exercise should be based on your body condition, your physical condition. For example, if you are tired, if you are suffering from some diseases, then it's not a good time for you to do exercises. Otherwise, it could give you more damages. But if you feel, for example, you are very energetic today, then it's a good time for you to do the exercise. Okay, so so your body condition is also very important to do the exercise. And also, besides exercise, the sleep, the nutrition, your emotion are all very important. And in traditional Chinese medicine, I would like also to tell you the special things, of traditional Chinese exercise. First, it pays great attention to the strength of the legs. Pay attention to the strength of the legs. Because in Chinese saying, there's a saying called, when we grow old, our legs become old first. become older first. And for elderly people, falling is a very important risk problem for fracture and for the poor late life. So for older people, if they fall, they will broken their bones, and so in the rest of their life, they would all lie on the bed. So the life quality could be greatly influenced. So in Chinese, the traditional Chinese exercise pay great attention to the feet, to the leg, to the strength on the foot. Okay, so usually we will do exercise in this way, in this way, and put strength downwards, and also pay attention to the balance. So it's balance. Okay, so and the movements are usually slowly. The movements are usually slow. And also, it's very important. Nearly all the movements are connected with breathing. Breathing, deep breathing out, deep breathing in. Okay, so our lung is very large in our body, and it's very important for our health. Our lungs are the first line of defender of our body. So to strengthen it, and also it can massage the organs inside. So deep breathing in and breathing out. So when you are combined with movements, so extension, you can see. In this way, you breathe in. So you can, with movements, you can breathe much more deeply, right? Much more deeply than your normal breathing. Okay, so this is breathing out. This is breathing out. Okay. So you need to combine with your breath, and also you need to focus your mind on your movements. So it's not just that you can listen to the music or watch the TV or thinking something else and while doing the exercise. But in Chinese medicine, in the traditional Chinese exercise, we stress a lot on the concentration of your mind into the movements. So this is kind of unity between your mind and your body parts. So your body parts and your mind could be combined much better, could be integrated better. So you will be much more sensitive, and more much more combined together. So it will not be much easier for you to fall over. Okay. So and also it's kind of different movements. It's not like doing exercise in the gym. For example, you do the repeated exercise. But in Chinese medicine exercise, you will move all your body parts. Okay, maybe here I just try to demonstrate, right? Some periods, okay, and maybe you can comprehend the traditional exercise much better, okay. The first is a very simple exercise called 八段锦. 八段锦 means 8 blockades, 8 section blockades, means 8 very precious sections of exercise. So the first one, so usually you need to relax and calm your mind. Okay, calm your mind, and just imagine you are in a peaceful area with the green trees, fresh air, and a little sunshine. Okay, with a little sunshine. Then, okay, you can, for example, you practice. Okay, and this is a kind of basic gesture. So you can see the gravity is downwards. It's downwards. Okay, I've done this before. And today my clothes is a little tight, so it's not very easy to practice. Okay, so like this one. Okay, so in this way, you receive, breathe out, and also breathe in deeply, and hold it for 7 seconds, and gradually breathing out. So you can repeat this for several times, okay? And also this one. Okay, so you can see the gravities on your okay. This is like this. And you need to try your best to open your chest and exert strength. Exert strength. This is like you are shooting a bird. This is like you are shooting a bird. Okay, so you can see this is deep breathing in. Okay, this is deep breathing in. Okay, and breathing out. Okay, and on this side. Okay, so you can focus, right? You can focus your mind, right? Focus on the exercise, concentrate. Okay, and you can take stretch. Okay, stretch. So this is deep breathing out. Okay, and this is another way of stretching. Okay, so this way of stretching. So this is breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, you can repeat it. And also this one. Breathing out. Breathing in. Okay, so breathing in. Breathing out. Okay. And this is another movement. Okay, so here. So in a way, this is slow breathing in, then blow out, breathing out. Okay, so breathing out. Okay, so back to this. Okay, and this one. Okay. Okay, so breathing in, out. Okay, so this one. Okay, so you touch. So touch your body, press your body downwards, downwards, go towards. Sorry. And then lift your hand with the strength of your hand. You take your body back and deep breathing. Okay, breathe out. Okay. And okay, next is so okay. So get out, okay, get out. And you need to pay attention to this. Stretch your fingers to your mouth and press the thumb on this point. Okay. So do you know what's this point? This is a point called when we were born, the child, the baby would press the thumb on this place and grasp the fist. So this means the start of the life. Okay, start of the life. Okay, so if you find here, you can stimulate the life force. Okay, the life force. Okay. So get out quickly. Okay, like this. Okay. And the last is kind of regulate your body. Like here. Okay, so reorganizing your muscles and your bones, the small dislocations and your muscles into the organized position. Okay, so this and finish. Okay, and after finishing, you can rub your face, okay, and you press this, okay. So pressing, actually, pressing, touching can cause a series of reactions in your body. Okay, it's also very good for your body. Okay, and maybe last, I will just show you a Tai Chi exercise. Okay. Maybe but my clothes is a little tight. So maybe I will just show you some very basic. Okay. Okay, so you can pay attention. What I have mentioned about the traditional exercise. Usually focus on the strength, to train the strength of your legs, to move slowly, to combine all the movements with the breathing, and also it's a kind of balance. You need to pay attention to the balance and focus your mind on the movement. Okay. Okay, thank you. Doing on the platform is very difficult to, very different from doing by yourself, because here is a little mind is a little distracted. Okay, so but in calm place, you can concentrate your mind much better, much better, and actually you can do this all this much more slowly. You can do it much more slowly than this. Actually, so after the exercise, you will have a slight of sweating. So in Chinese medicine, to have lots of sweat is not good for the body, because according to the theory of Chinese medicine, the sweat is the fluid of the heart. So if you sweat too much, it means it will consume the energy of the heart and not good for your body. Okay, so all the exercise in Chinese medicine, that by doing the Chinese exercise, you will have slight of sweating. And according to the theory of Chinese medicine, this is the best. This is the best. Okay, so actually in Chinese medicine, we stress moderate. For example, moderate diet. Okay, moderate exercise. So it means not too much and not too little. Just be right according to your own condition. Okay, there's no standardized way for everyone. Okay, so you need to eat, practice, sleep, all according to your own state, and find your own pace of your life. Then you can get the best of yourself. Okay, so that's the. I think that's also the essence of Chinese medicine. Just find yourself what is the most appropriate to you. Proper amount of diet, proper amount of sleep, proper amount of exercise. Okay, not too much and not too little. Just to your own situation, to your own feeling. Own feeling. Okay, and think so. That's all for my session today. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yeah.